But maybe, so those are pretty policy issues that we can say, look, this needs to be done. But before those things change, what can we begin to do? You know, on spheres. Yeah, it's behind the...
Well, I think that one thing that we have overlooked as a country is just notifying the things that we're good at and doing them excellently. Like, if I notice we were good farmers once upon a time, I don't know what happened to it. It's because we started innovation. I believe in innovation. But my granny always told me, wanga singagoni chirungu, wanga singagoni chikoro. But zukushanda mumba izi, vaizigona. And vakati muzukuru wangu ina nbokunyepe. I didn't want to do English or anything. I just wanted to maximize the things that I'm good at. And she was excellent at it.
Wow.
So Kuti, I believe if we had maximized farming, the whole of Africa would know if it's farming, Zimbabwe is good. Then we attract resources with the things that we're good at. Then we start spreading it out. I think our parents really knew how to do that with us. My mom and father always say, there are things that I wanted to do, but I couldn't do them. So I'll use teaching, get resources for you to grow. So as a nation, we should use those things that we are doing in our families, attract to the things that we are good at, to develop the things that we do not have. So that's the one thing that I think we should do.
So that must be done. And I think it starts with us here. Because at the end of it all, we must be able to say, so what can we do at a personal level? What can we do at a grave level? What can we do? All right, to put we can master this thing and we want to demonstrate to others. Can we challenge the system to pay upload up? Are we willing to do that? And to put our minds and our everything there and say, in new area, demonstrate that. Oh, we just gather like this, we talk. And then I think I'm just tired of that system. And I like that quotation. You wanted to say something?
Well, there are a number of things I wanted to say. I hope I'll remember some of them.
Please.
They also resonate with some of the issues that have been raised, which are quite strong points that will take us forward if we really strongly review them. One of them, I think, our education institutions have become commercial entities. So obviously that will tell you a lot about the quality of education that will come from there. Especially the universities. I think the teachers' colleges and polytechnics, I don't know if inside information yet, judging from their focus and their particularity sometimes with numbers. Just to give a personal example, my brother wanted to do instrumentation at the Gwero Poly. We took him there, and the head of the engineering department actually says we're very particular about our numbers because we want to ensure that the number of students is such that it tallies with our resources, our machinery. So I listened to that statement and I said, wow, this is, if ever they live up to this, then it means they care about the quality of education that they're dishing out. But talk of the Midland State University, just as an example, you have 300 students in development studies. Student-lecturer ratio already tells you what kind of development practitioners you're getting, right? That's just an example. But that is happening. If you want, just go back 2-3 months back and look at the kind of advertisements coming from universities. University of Technology, are you in Gwanda, Bay Bridge? We're coming for you. With just $100, you can register, and that already says a lot about the quality of education. That's one. So surely there must be a reason why not everybody could go to A level. Not everybody could go to university. It was a screening process on its own.
Yeah. Maybe then the link, because what I'm seeing from you, I was apparently this week at the conference, Zimbabwe Library Association. One of the keynote speeches came from the principal director in the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education. And the point was to say, tainyanyo taifoirisa vana yentozomboti ngavapinde saka iko zvinezvi we want to do it in such a way kuti hatisi kuti vana madofu. So we need to balance now and be able to say, maybe what we needed to do was to say, we have screened, but those who haven't made it at this stage, what are they good at? Then we channel them where they are supposed to go instead of dumping them. But we then felt, no, this system is leaving a lot of people behind. So why don't we just change it and say, let everyone be helped to proceed to the next level. And quality control already has been compromised at that stage. So I'm thinking, what do we do?
I just wanted to ask, the relationship that exists between the job market and the tertiary institutions that we are talking about. Are the industry players putting or giving any input into the kind of maybe potential employees that they want into those universities? Or we are just churning out people so that we just almost go like. I was thinking, the apprentice, you talked about apprentice. I think those people, in terms of quality, in terms of knowledge and skills, with a bus, those guys, I think they are better off than these other managers that we are training, and we don't know what they will manage after that. Because I'm sure most of my degree programs, these are management programs, but which are managed actually. I was thinking there must be a close relationship between the requirements of the job market and what we produce in our institutions.
That's interesting. Liz wants to hear the voice.
I think we've heard that before. I think one thing that is meeting like this and saying, yes, industry should dictate the type of people that they need. The tourism sector, which is what I'll refer to because I'm good at, is, for example, the way we at the hotel school. And you'll find that I'm actually a product of the hotel school because they train you right from the basics. You know, even in the kitchen, you'll be the one doing the scullery and everything, right up to management level. And they knew that if they put you in any situation, you would survive, you would be able to do it. If it means cooking the meals, you would do the meals, washing up or making the beds, everything was covered. And industry keeps calling out that, yes, your universities or whatever you have, we need people who are relevant. So I think the problem now is just merging the two. Or maybe the problem is now it's all commercial and a case of making money instead of really listening to what we need. Because if the two, we all know what we need, but we're just not coming together to achieve that.
So I'm thinking the commercial aspect or the focus, the commercial is actually compromised on quality. Actually, to quote Sisu John Rhodes, talking about Oxford, he says, we want to make sure that every time you turn your head, at the top of every tree, you will find an Oxford fruit. In other words, you are saying this place has to be so much special that the people who come out of this will always find them at the top of everything and everywhere that they are. And I think places like Harvard, Oxford have been very, very tight in terms of what they take and what they do. So, Isusu, are we under pressure and compromise? Because what I want to bring into all this is to then say, if I'm looking at what I'm kind of thinking and dreaming, the green aspect there are things that we are saying. People should be drilled, whether if we partner universities and colleges, and we are saying we are grooming people for industry, if we are looking at people who have been retrenched, people who are not employed, and we are sifting and taking the best, there are skills that they must have from an intrapersonal level. Confidence. The spirit of entrepreneurship we are talking about, these are intrapersonal skills. Developing self-confidence, the ability to relate with others, and with yourself first. Before you even go to the interpersonal skills, we now talk about communication, grooming, deportment, your interpersonal skills. So what I'm saying is there are things that have to be done, the training bit. Because already we worried about the quality. If these are the issues that are affecting our quality, I can promise you, even if we give those people money to start businesses, the results will show. And that's why up to now we've given youth funds, we've done these funds and those funds, and people are not bringing that money. Why? Because that's the quality issues we're talking about. They are saying if we go the incubation route, the argument is then to say these people must first know the kind of entrepreneurial spirit, personal responsibility, self-confidence, the ability to control yourself, emotional intelligence. These are intrapersonal issues. For me to be the kind of person that I ended up being, with the kind of drive and passion that I have, it all started one day when why I invited Dr. Faith Ntabeni is because then she was my boss, my HR director at Kingdom Financial Holdings, and instrumental in terms of bringing people to train, bringing people to be part of the team. I was part of the team that started Kingdom Bank as a project. And one of the training programs that I attended, facilitated by a guy called George Nabata, who is now in South Africa, he was the first person to challenge me, looking at intrapersonal skills within me, define my purpose. What do I want to be in life? And this is the guy who challenged me to write my eulogy. On the day that I die, what do I want people to say about me? And be able to say, if these are the things that I want people to say about me, how do I begin to structure my life? How do I begin to... Up to now, it makes me realize I don't have as much time as I think I have. If you ask my wife, my children sometimes complain, because I realize I have so much that I need to do before this life expires. And I have no time to waste, and I have to make a difference wherever I am. But these are intrapersonal things. No one can do these things for these children and for these students. There are things that even, as Cecil John Ross lecturer gave that inaugural, it was the first lecture that he attended that made him say, I'm not finishing this semester, I'm going back to Africa to start doing things. Because we are not paid such call. But it starts from within. And we are saying, when we incubate them, we can then drill them. We can then say, sharpen and smoothen the edges. Before we even go my interpersonal skills and our customer service and our communication skills, and now how to apply themselves in terms of dealing with other people, grooming and etiquette, and all those are now saying relationship management, but it starts from within. Do you have a dream? Do you have a passion? And each and every one of us has a responsibility. I'm a team manager, we work with these people. Others, we are heads and leaders of families. We have these people in our homes. How are we infusing all these things in them? Do they have focus? Do they understand what they want to do? Do they have an agenda? And I believe this difference should start with my own family. And in every holiday I have a meeting with these guys. They know it. So today our meeting, guys, today is our meeting. Let's talk. Last time how come this subject is like this? Okay, what do you see as your strengths? What are your talents? What do you enjoy doing? From the time they are small, I try and talk to my children, have meetings with them, discuss issues with them. Une strength area, but and they know I've said I want them to be the best of what they've been created to be. But they must have, why I push them, not only the basics that are necessary, but to identify issues. And I also give them a chance to talk to me. I think in our last meeting, during this last holiday, this gentleman then says, it was time for them now to ask me and their mother whatever they wanted. Says, I did. More opportunity outside. And I'm like, but it shows they are thinking. They're saying, no, that way you can go. I'm going to share this with you, but the environment, then they make me think. But we are saying these are things that we do at a very personal level. But there is no way I can make this guy dream. All I'm doing, even by bringing him today here and saying, Chaman, excuse him, I'm going to make some peace. And I said, I'm inviting you, I want you to come to this function that I'm facilitating. Then I got, all right, no, that's where the other day I got did. But quite a clash, I got a piece, and then I said, it's up to you. Choose where do you want to go. I wasn't going to, no, but I said to him, choose. It was on woods, I decided actually. So yesterday morning I said to him, I said, so did you make a decision? He says, yeah, I made a decision. That which one did you choose? And no, I'll come to this particular one. But okay, that's fine. But it had to be his choice. There are things that I can't force him, but I have to assess. I have to see level. And are they applying their own mind? Can they see their area of talent? And how can I help them? Because there are things, even my wife, I tell him, they are no clue that. But there are things in life that I can never be able to do for you. I can't be able for you. I can't eat for you if you want. I can't dream for you. Unfortunately, all I can do is plant some cloud seeds. What I'm doing now, this one day of learning is all about knocking each other. But at the end of the day, it's a personal choice, because these things are at a personal level. To then say, I'm going to challenge the status quo, and I'm going to do the best that I can to turn the negative into positive wherever I am. And I'm saying, in a model E, if we come together, we can do it at a more scalable level. If we really think about it. Say.
I think
5 minutes will be taking the
no,
shot.
I'm going to talk. I'm hoping I will retain. No, I'm saying at that level, interpersonal level, skill strength is the most critical. Because it is at this level where a child or a person inculcates the control that tells them, look, I am not going to waste myself. Because if I waste myself, that vision will not be fulfilled. These discussions, like the ones we were saying, I also have the same discussions with my daughters. I've got 2 daughters. The other is 27 now, the other is 30. At the level they are at now, in some families you'll be having problems with them. Either alcoholism, boys and all that. And even at work you'll be having them, not doing what they are required to do at work. But you find, a child wakes up in the morning, very in the morning, I can't be late for work. I say, but at one point or another, you will be late. They will tell you that, it's better that at some point or another I be said to have been late, but they will side with me because they know I've always been early. Why I'm doing this is because I need the job to achieve A, B, C, D. Now you see they've got a vision which controls their activities outside the business area, outside the family control and all that. So having that intrapersonal skill is critical, because then we don't need to go around and telling our kids and saying, you should be doing drugs. They know they don't need to do drugs because they have the dream to achieve. So this is the best control. If we achieve this with all the control that we require in our entrepreneurs, in our children, in the people, in our nationals, or people in the world, this is the level at which the control should be. Anything else that comes after is just building up on this foundation.
If you look at page 2 of the handout, there are 2 circles that are put from, well, it's not really Stephen Covey's invention, but he popularized concept here, this circle of influence and this sphere of concern in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But in introductory dimension, the inner circle, which he refers to as the sphere or circle of influence, which essentially says these are things that you have power to control. Okay? In that circle, you find things that you have power to change, power to control, which you can decide today to say, I'm resolving. Today, my day is no longer 10 hours long. My day is 16 hours. With 6, I'm going to invest in the new business or the new idea that I want until it comes out. You have power to control that. Then in the outer circle, that's your circle of concern. Things that affect you, that you don't have power or direct power to influence or to change them. In your circle of influence, the inner one, you will find that's your comfort zone, because you already can do these things. You already have this qualification. You are saying, look, I have this, I can do this. You already have the talent. But your growth opportunities are out there. Any form of change that you desire in your life, and any form of growth that you desire in your life, will always be accompanied by a level of stress, because you have to stretch out of your comfort zone. And that's why the majority of people will always be average. We will never be great. That's why the majority of the wealth, they say 98% of the world's wealth is in the hands of less than 8% of the world's population. Why? Because the little extra that is needed to stretch out of our comfort zone is so stressful to most people that they would rather manage with the way things are. Like system in Zimbabwe, but but can't I say what can I learn from that person that can make me also stretch out of my own comfort zone and begin to say there is something in this environment that's making me. Can I also learn the principles, put them into my own? But how you do that now is you don't do it by shouting at the things that you don't have power to control, like what most people would easily want to do. No pointing of fingers, man. My politician, she then tell my excuses. We are shouting. I always tell people, my boss, I shall work a strike. I can come back. This number, civil servants. If they decide they're going to strike, that's not going to create the money. It's not there. So you're shouting and focusing on the wrong circle. If you focus on the things that you don't have power to change, you're going to be discouraged, you're going to be frustrated, and you're not going to grow. You will limit yourself. So what do? You come back to your comfort zone, to your area of strength, to your circle of influence, and you are able to then say, this is what I did. I said, okay, I'm no longer formally employed. My children's private school fees were being paid. I did not have to worry about accommodation expenses. My fuel was there. I had a card for entertainment allowance. I had a monthly allowance for my phone. I had a direct line I could go with. I had a phone at home. At the end of the month, I would ask myself, Saka, what would be my salary? But when that was no longer there, and I tried to set my things but the environment did not really support me. I set 4 lines of income that I felt I was going to be comfortable, my family was going to be comfortable. I had a consultancy, I had an internet business, I had a manufacturing business, and I had my investments. I had shares on the stock market, I had money market investments that would give me quite good dividends. And I knew my children would go to school, but that was when that changed and everything became, I wasn't in control of what was happening. I had a choice to complain and to feel like a victim. But as I realized I had talent, knowledge, and skills that I had acquired, I came back to those things. I came back to the things that I have power to control. I had to make decisions. All right, suppose you worked on MCC, MCS. You change the principle, you change the procedure. Tombo kata math school fees. Tagumbo baba neji no dura is tagumbo not in a business and now I sold my big car. I bought a pickup. I bought a sedan. Changed the car cover. The guy said to my capital to idea. I'm readjusting, but as a means of giving me the capacity to then say, from where I am, let me be able to stretch. But environment, she soon. And I had to offload all the vehicles. I started struggling. But still, in those moments of struggling, I came back to my talents and my skills. I think he mentioned that. But it's because I knew I can write, I know I can train, I can pass on knowledge and understanding to others. So I came back to that. Over the years, I've acquired skills, knowledge, experience. Let me put these into books. Let me put these into training programs. Let me start from there. I don't need to go to the bank for that, to borrow money. Capital. It's not cheap. When you don't have capital, the best capital to start from is your talent, your knowledge, your skills acquired over time, the ideas that you had, your experiences from work, your networks that we had. It becomes that leverage that we have now to begin to say, guys, I'm not asking for donations, but I'm saying, give me that platform. And you're able to cover the gaps and begin to do that. So these are the things that we need as we are doing now, to be able to say, there are things that we cannot change. It's a waste of time and resources and effort most of the times to spend most of your life trying to change the things that you don't have power to change. Ignoring the things that you can. You have the power to change and the power to maximize the potential that you have in those particular things. So my part of my challenge is to also put to you to say, no matter my board meetings with yourself, and there's a special committee about especially when I travel on my own. It's called the Me, Myself, and I committee. That board committee must pass important resolution. The three of you sit down and you say, right. And if you are late, you say, ladies, let's sit down. Then me will say, but me is always selfish. And me is like, no, but me wants this, but me wants that. It's all about me. And that's not its way, that stays so. I travel a lot. Sometimes I stay in a 5-star hotel and in a presidential suite. You don't have a limit. You can have sign. You're in a country where no one knows you. So me might say, but I should be able to shift me. Then I say, but I don't know so what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But myself, myself was not, but gentlemen, but myself defined purpose, my beliefs, my values. So a board meeting, and we all talk to ourselves. And I'm not blind to ourselves. If we think you're not paying that, then we are all mad. But it's the quality of the conversations that must make it. So yes, we are bringing this conversation out here, but there are more important conversations that we must have with ourselves. What quality resolutions we come up with? And that's part of the challenge I'm facing. But right now about meeting here, let's look at the things that we have power to control, things that we don't have power to control. Identify the areas of opportunity and say, I think I have opportunities going in this direction. I think I have opportunities going in that direction. After Mr. Songs, I think we will get a short.
I just wanted to support myself in the sense that board meeting is critical in that one never likes to be themselves. Asi ndikanga ndapinda board meeting rangu ndinatoda but pale ndachapo. Because when you talk to yourself, you know your weaknesses, you know. Even kana tingatodi discuss group, you're talking. Then my own questions. No gonna zona tapa zvachena. One answers which, but in that board meeting you say sure. That she was really sure, and she was right, she was correct, I was wrong there. If you make a resolution, I have to apologize for that. For us to have a way forward. So it's critical for these board meetings to be held because it is from them that we can actually spring stronger than we were before. Because we clear all the weaknesses. We admit, and then we can find a way forward.
Wise words.
Maybe just to bring in something.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the discussion so far. And I think with what you brought about, we were talking previously about intrapersonal skills.
Yes.
Yes. And I think everything else emanates from this board meeting you are talking about. Whereby somebody said you have to first of all seek to to understand and then to be understood. In which case you will find that most of the problems that we have in our interactions or in the intrapersonal skills, it starts with selfishness, whereby people will be centered on themselves and they want them to be understood first. And then that creates a lot of problems for many people. Yeah, so I think with what you have said, it's actually enlightening, whereby you have to really like introspect and get to understand yourself before you seek other people to understand you. Yeah.
Yes.
So, just to add to what he's saying and tying up with everything else that has been said,
Yeah.
that intrapersonal stage development training, we are looking at cultivating sound social, moral, and business values for you to be able to be successful in your business and as an individual. So you'll find that values such as integrity, I find that word at the moment in Zimbabwe, most people don't even understand it.
So we enjoy writing it and putting it on the walls.
Yes, but we don't practice it, we don't apply it. So for us to be successful entrepreneurs, we need to cultivate sound values, know them, understand them, and practice them.